Rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I greet you, my brothers and sisters, with the noble and universal greeting of peace, the greeting that has been used by the prophets and messengers of our universal Creator, Almighty Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shukr to Allah, we have another day of being alive and being intentional, living this day intentionally. That our intention is to remember Allah, our intention is to claim the refuge with Allah from Satan the accursed, our intention is to draw closer to Allah, our intention is to bring to Allah a purified heart, our intention is to purify our hearts, that we live with the intention that we live for the world beyond. We know that our life in this world is temporary and in the hereafter is permanent. We know that there's a priority here. We know that there is purpose that we are living with. The Quran has told us that human beings have been created, the reason why we are here. And why this life was created, it tells us, So, I'm very grateful that I went from being one who was living unintentionally as to what it means to be a winner. You understand? You can live this world, as the Quran says, be a winner, or you can be a loser. The Quran speaks of those who are losers in this world. They are losers in this world and the losers in the hereafter. Those who deny Allah, those who associate partners with Allah, those who say they believe in Allah, but they don't really believe in Allah in the last day. The hypocrites, the kuffar, the mushrik and the munafiqs. So they live with a reason that is not why we were created, to remember Allah, to recognize His power, to be grateful to Him, to have that relationship with our Creator of submission. That's why we were created. The Quran says life and death was created, death and life was created to see who among the human beings will remember Allah, who will incline to truth, who will stop worshipping Satan. After Adam and Eve, our foreparents, did their thing with Satan, we went into a state of forgetfulness. And guidance was promised to the Prophet Adam, for him and his people, that whoever received the guidance, they would find their way back from out of insecurity to security. So I am more secure than I've ever been. A believer is one who is secure. I'm living with intentionality. I'm living with intentionality. I get up in the morning and I know that this day is an opportunity for me to experience greater security, that I can live this day in a way that can benefit me in this world through my death and beyond. I can live this day. So every morning when I get up, I'm intentional. I choose to receive guidance. I choose to remember Allah. I choose to purify my heart. I choose to go to bed that day at a higher level of security, at a higher level of selffulness, at a higher level of satisfaction. See, Iman, our relationship with Allah, I choose to have lived the day responding to Allah's relating to me. The Quran says Allah responds to people, let them respond to Him. I choose this day to remember Allah and respond to Him. Every day when I get up in the morning, I say an opportunity to be a winner, to draw closer to Allah, to claim the refuge with Allah from Satan the accursed, to experience the guidance, the effects of guidance, which is greater security. Those to whom guidance will come and they accept it, the Quran tells us, they will not remain insecure. So all human beings are insecure. After the Adam and Eve incident, all human beings are insecure. And a believer is one who releases that insecurity and that experiences security. The believer is, and security only happens as you remember Allah. Verily, in the remembrance of Allah, hearts experience security, assurance. You get what I mean? So, guidance has come to me, and I am among those who have accepted guidance. I understand that this is in fact so, that human beings live in a state of superstition. I understand that human beings are superstitious. When they live their lives, they're not aware of who they are, where they are, what's going on here. Human beings are in a state of forgetfulness of Allah, and they have reasons for living that do not involve the purpose for living as Allah has explained it in the Quran. Why the heavens and the earth were created, why life on this planet was created, what happens in the afterlife, how we function here and how it affects our consequences in after. It's all explained in the Quran. You know what I mean? And so I get up every morning and I'm very intentional. Now, I didn't start this morning, only this morning I started by being intentional. I've been intentional for over 25 years. But not as clear as I am now. But I've been living on intention. I've been living with intention. To be intentional. To live intentionally. To have an intent. And to act from that intent. So, I choose to experience peace. I choose it. I choose to experience ease. The Quran says Allah wants ease for you. I say, thank you Allah, I choose to experience ease. The Quran says in another verse, we will guide you to the way of ease. That means human beings are not living on the path of ease. I've been talking about ease for over 25 years or so. You know, I've been choosing ease. I've been choosing a natural state of living. Not dis-ease of stress and strain and worry. You know, although when you're insecure, that's what you do. You stress, you strain. When you're insecure, you are unaware. And, you know, you have different intentions in life when you're insecure. When you're a non-believer, when you deny Allah, when you're not interested in the relationship with Allah, you're not interested in drawing closer to Allah, when you are mushrik, when you have a relationship with a God of your own fantasy, you know, or a munafiq, you think you know Allah, but you know, you don't. You live with an intention other than natural good feeling. And that intention is relief, safety, and excitement. You know, people who don't choose the natural way, they are living an unnatural way. So I chose the natural way. I'm choosing the natural way. I'm choosing the way of security. I'm very intentional that I'm choosing the way of Iman, the way of Amal, the way of a life tayyibun. I'm choosing to live Iman, being secure. They asked the Prophet, who is one who is secure? He said, one whom everybody is safe from. See? One whom everybody is safe from. So, I am not a threat to anybody. I'm not here to hurt or harm or steal from anybody or use and abuse anybody. I'm not a threat anymore. But it wasn't always like that. I was a threat to myself. You understand? I was stealing from myself. You know, my good in this world and the world. I was robbing myself left, right and center. I was poisoning my own body. Now, if somebody is a danger to themselves, imagine who they are to you. You know what I mean? If somebody is, evil with themselves, they don't allow themselves to experience security. They don't allow Allah's love in. They don't feel secure. You know, they're not into ease, and they are creating stress and strain for themselves, and they're not caring for themselves, their bodies and their lives, and they make life worse for them, their bodies worse for them. I mean, they're a danger to themselves. You know, Satan threatens you with insecurity and causes you to behave in ways unseemly. Satan will suggest things to you, prompt you, and then you act in a way that harms you. It is harmful to others, you know, in an unloving way to you and an unloving way to others. You keep God's loving away from you, His compassion away from you. You keep your own loving away from you. You keep loving away from others. You know, some of us are big deprivers, you know. We don't live the natural way of satisfaction. So we're not secure, we're not choosing peace, that, in the remembrance of Allah, hearts experience assurance. It's unconditional. There's no conditions for assurance. Allah, beyond conditions, is the one we are assured with. We put our faith and trust in Allah. Allah has power over all things. And with Allah, all things are possible. Allah is our protector. Allah is our progressor. Allah is our prosperer. Allah has privileged us. We who know Allah and know of His compassion, and we know the truth of Allah, Allah never did anything bad to us. Never. Allah will never do anything bad to us. Allah is the fair. Allah is the forgiving. Allah is the favoring. Allah is the forwarding. Allah is the fulfilling. Allah is the unconditionally caring of us. We couldn't say, please favor us. We didn't exist. Allah brought us into existence as a favor. We're a favored creation of God as human beings, and so on and so forth. For those who are aware, right? For those who are lost in this world of Satan worship, and they got other intentions, they're not wanting to develop spiritually. Their intentions like, I'm scared, I'm afraid, let me find somebody to look after me. I'm scared, I'm afraid, let me find people to look after that are scared and afraid, I'll look after them. Oh, nobody must look after me, I must look after me. As long as I look after me, I'm okay. You get what I mean? People are denying that Allah has and is taking care of us. Allah has taken care of us. He's taking care of us. He's given to us. We have Him. He alone is the one taking care of us in all life. There is no maker and maintainer other than Allah. So when people live still in that insecure state, worshipping Satan, the Quran is guidance. Do not worship Satan, worship Allah. Stop the Satan worship, the Quran is telling us. Turn to Allah, claim the refuge with Allah. But, you see, that is a different intention. That's for people who are intentional to experience security. That we have Allah who's benefiting us, who has benefited us, is benefiting us, and we want to experience having been benefited by Allah, and experience being benefited by Allah, and we want to experience the further benefit of Allah. We're living intentionally. The believer is living with intention for security, to be a believer. Not just say you believe in Allah in the last day, but you don't. To actually be a believer, it's an intentional. Nobody starts off there. The Prophet had to submit. Ibrahim alayhi salam had to submit. Everybody with a mother and father had to submit. You get what I mean? So, I had to submit. I had to submit. You have to submit that part of us that's got a fake intention. The intention is about the world, the dunya. I must get somebody to look after me. I must be the one looking after others. In the meantime, denying that Allah is looking after everybody. Denying that Allah is looking after me. I don't need anybody to look after me. And I don't need to look after anybody. And I don't need to look after myself. You see, but this is when you worship Satan, this is the kind of intention that you have. When you worship Satan, you have this kind of intention. I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to feel... And now, when you remember Allah, verily in the remembrance of Allah, hearts experience assurance, right? You feel good. If you're not feeling good when you remember Allah, you are not remembering Allah. The Quran tells us that in the remembrance of Allah, hearts experience assurance. You feel secure, assured. It's like if you appreciate, Allah will give you more. If you're not getting more, it means you're not appreciating. You get what I mean? That's it. You can't say, no, I'm remembering, but I'm not experiencing assured. The Quran is in error. I'm thankful, but Allah is not giving me more. The Quran is in error. That means you're not right in your head. You Satan worship if you start thinking like that. Allah has never harmed anybody and will never harm anybody. Allah has favored humanity and even guided Adam and Eve that stay away from that tree. You know what I mean? And even after they went into that state of unconsciousness, Allah sent guidance to humanity. Allah is the one with whom we can be assured that He's interested in us sincerely and is good for us. But most of us don't know that. We have lived with our parents and lived with other people and we've never known what unconditional love is. We don't know what mercy is. We don't know what compassion is. We haven't seen our parents and our teachers and the gurus and the pandits and all that. We haven't seen them be godly, because Allah is compassion, and we as human beings can be compassionate. Allah is merciful. We can be, as human beings, merciful. Allah is peaceful and patient. We can be peaceful and patient. You get to experience being peaceful, experience being patient. We can experience, Allah has given humanity that favor, but we haven't seen anybody. We'll be the first to be peaceful and patient among our people, and compassionate and merciful and kind. We can become that. As a believer, that's how you know a believer. The Quran says, woe to those who stand in prayer, but their hearts lack the smallest of kindnesses. Because Allah is Ar-Rahuf, the kind. You see, how can you say you're getting close to Allah when you're not into salam, when you're not into sabr, patient perseverance, How can you say you are Allah conscious when you are not being loving? Allah is Al-Wadud. I was just, for my course on attracting a partner that is in support of, Allah's gifts in the Quran. Allah says in the Quran that He created us from one soul in two pairs, and put from among ourselves people that we can partner with, and that He put love and compassion in our hearts, that we may dwell with each other in tranquility. Who is He talking to? Real believers. You understand? Real believers know that Allah is compassionate and merciful. They receive that. Real believers know that we can also have love and compassion in our hearts, affection. Allah has affection for us. We can have affection for others. Others can have affection for us. Affection is a caring, a bond. Somebody can trust us. You care. Affection. You understand? Something that very few people know about. Check to see if your parents had affection. Did they know the affection of Allah? Did they have affection? Did they receive Allah's affection? Did they have affection for themselves? Did they have affection for their husbands and wives? Check. Check to see your gurus and your pandits. You know what I mean? Do they have affection? Because Allah is the affectionate. That means like caring, sincerely caring, kind, affection. So, instead of saying, I'm looking for a man or woman to marry, and they're going to make me feel so secure, and I marry that man, he's going to buy me things, he's going to be the father I never had, or this woman is, this woman is going to say that I marry that man, is going to be the father I never had, or this man is saying, I'm going to marry this woman and she's going to be the mother I never had, she's going to treat me like a child and do whatever I want and please me, It's how non-believers think and marry. Believers who read the Quran, who understand the message of the Quran, they say, thank you Allah. Before they look for a man or a woman. Why am I telling you this? Why am I digressing? I'm saying to you, only Allah has taken care of us and is taking care of us and can take care of us. No man or woman can take care of us, nor can we take care of any man or woman, nor can we take care of ourselves. We can be caring to ourselves. We can be caring to others. Others can be caring to themselves. Others can be caring to us. But we can't take care of ourselves and each other. We were not. We came into existence. That coming into existence is the caring of Allah, and blessing us and giving us the ability to be humane, and He breathed His Spirit that we can experience being affectionate too. Firstly, we can recognize His affection and His kindness, and then we can be kind to ourselves and affectionate to ourselves. We can allow and accept ourselves, our bodies, our lives. We can appreciate ourselves, our bodies, our lives. We don't have to behave in the ways of destruction for ourselves, our bodies, our lives. Because Allah created us the highest of life form, right? On earth. He says that we are created, favored among the creation. And then He created us in the body in the best of molds, right? As a human being, is there any other animal or insect that you wish your form would be? Nobody will say, I want to be a grasshopper. I wish I was a grasshopper. I wish I was a bird. You know what I mean? No, we've got hands and feet and teeth and, you know what I mean, and ears, and we look at each other and we can hug and hold and affection and all that sort of thing. You know what I mean? We are warm-blooded. You know what I mean? When you hold each other or hug, there's warmth. You know, you're not cold-blooded. You know, Allah. You know what I mean? You've got to see this for those who choose to be aware. The Quran is speaking about become aware of Allah and His kindness to humanity. Now, people are like lost in a lower state of unconsciousness as non-believers. They're living in a state of unconsciousness, subconsciously living. They are in a lower perspective. They have lower perceptions. Their mind is full of stuff. All they are is, let me get somebody to take care of me. Let me take care of somebody else like we can. Let me take care of myself. Nobody must take care of me. They have a very different intention. When you're in the fallen state, when you're in a forgotten state, when you live without the purpose of what the Quran guides us to, the priority to remember Allah, to establish a relationship with Allah. In the Quran, it's like established, respond to Allah's relating to you. First is Allah, before anybody, before us, before anybody else. But the people, when they are in that forgetting state and they are worshipping Satan, they're not interested in recognizing Allah as the affectionate and the kind. And look, He gave us humanity and we can reason and we can relate, and He gave us, the body. And so they don't respect themselves. They don't have human esteem. You see, the non-believers who have, either no guidance came to them, they don't want it, or when guidance comes to them, they turn away from it. They're not interested in recognizing Allah's favors. So the Quran asks in one chapter, 31 times, which of the favors of Allah do you deny? Which basically means, do you deny that Allah is the favoring? You see? Do you deny Allah is the favoring? So when you're living your life in this world worshipping Satan and you're like, I'm feeling so bad, maybe somebody can take care of me, maybe I'll take care of somebody else, I'm feeling guilty, or maybe nobody must take care of me, I'll take care of me. You're denying that Allah's caring is unique and supreme, that Allah has given you caring, that this is why, see, when you live intentionally as a believer, you want to remember Allah. See, I choose to remember. I'm intentional on remembering Allah. Now, you can't be, intentional on remembering Allah, but at the same time worshipping Satan and being intentional on I need somebody to look after me, then I'll be okay. And I need to look after other people, then they'll be okay and I'll be okay. Or I need to look after me and, it's me with my job. My most important thing in my life is just get that money and pay my bills. You know what I mean? You can't ride two horses. You can't worship Allah and worship Satan at the same time. And all of us are with Satan until we choose to worship Allah. You get what I mean? So I have become intentional and I'm living intentionally. I'm sharing with you my journey that has been over 27 years or so. My journey on the spot. Where I was, what I believed, what I thought, what I went through. I had the spiritual diseases. I turned around to other people, thought they could help me. They also had the same spiritual disease. I turned to Allah. He guided me. I received the guidance. I'm living this way now. I'm on the path. And I'm further along the path. And I just choose to feel good every day. It's got nothing to do with me and anybody taking care of me taking care of anybody else, or me taking care of me. I feel good that my Creator has created me as best of creation, all human beings, not just me. Ashraful Makhlukat, Islamic teaching tells us, the most noble of creation, Ashraful. My name is Ashraf. Love my name. The most noble of creation, Ashraful Makhlukat. Human beings. So I choose to recognize and have human esteem that Allah has favored us. I'm not going to deny the favors. Why do you think Allah has to ask 31 times in one chapter? Why didn't He ask once? Which of the favors, and stop it there? Which of my favors you deny? Keeps asking it, hoping that, the people who are reading, oh mashallah, such nice recital, read so well. You must be hoping that, these people will hear it. Kaziban, whatever in Arabic it means. Why is it saying it over? And people say, so lovely, mashallah, poetry. The Quran says it's not a book of poetry. came at a time as a sign to the people of the time, because at the time poetry was in. It was the big rave, it was the rage at the time. So it was like a poetry, but it's not a book of poetry, but its melody, its words, its literature, as a piece of literature, it's unparalleled. It's a miracle, right? So, for those who know. But its message, that become aware, experience security. You can remember Allah and feel assured. But the people are like, but nobody's taking care of me, my husband, my wife, I have to take care of everybody, and I mustn't let anybody take care of me. So I was telling you, that's why I'm telling you what I'm telling you. When people look at other people, they don't say, Allah, your affection, is upon me, your kindness is upon me, I'm a human being. You breathed your spirit into humanity. You asked the angels to bow. You asked all those in the heavens, including Satan, to bow before humanity. You have high regard and respect for us. You really created us, favored. And you gave us, I will respect me and other human beings as your creation. I might not like the people, but I will respect human beings as your, in a sense, crowning glory on the planet. Like we are the highest life form on earth. Allah was impressed with His creation, asked to be bowed before. And He gave us the best of molds. Allah, this is love from you. Nobody can create me. Nobody can create me as a human. Nobody can give me the resources, capacities, capabilities that I have. Nobody can create me and have a body as a human. Only you, your affection, your kindness. I will be kind to me. My body, my life, I will be affectionate. I will respect me, my body, my life that you've given me. Insecure people worshipping Satan, they give a damn, about themselves being human, their bodies, their lives. They're like so lost worshipping Satan. They're destructive. They don't respect themselves. They don't respect their bodies. They don't respect them. You know how I know? I was one of them. I know this firsthand. When you are not aware of Allah and His compassion and affection. So the Quran says, it created you from one soul into, that you may, and take among you from the people into pairs. And He put love and compassion in your heart, that you may dwell with each other in tranquility. Now if you don't know Allah's love and compassion, you don't say, thank you Allah for your love and compassion. I'm looking for somebody to going to take care of me. I'm looking for somebody to take care of. You know what I mean? I'm going to be somebody's child. I'm going to marry and be a child of somebody. I'm going to marry somebody and I'm going to be their mother. You know what I mean? I'm going to look after them. I'm going to be the father. No. First is, Allah, thank you. You are the one who created all human beings. You created us favored. You have affection for us. You have compassion for us. You've given me the ability to be affectionate and compassionate. I choose to have affection and compassion for me. Accept me, my body, my life. Allow me, my body, my life. Appreciate me, my body, my life. My future life and afterlife too. I'm caring. You have cared for me, causing me. You've given me the ability to care for me. This is Amal. You've given me the capacity as a human being to care for me that no other life form on earth can care for themselves. We can brush our teeth. We can practice hygiene, we can wash ourselves, we can reason, we can learn, we can read, we can write, we can smile, we can love, we can be kind to ourselves. When you worship Satan, you deny Allah's kindness. When you worship Satan, you will never be kind to you, your body and your life. You'll be, against you, your body. I know, I used to smoke, I used to do all kinds of things, harmful things. And then if you're doing that to you, what do you think you're going to be for other people? You're going to think you'll be kind. You'll be a people pleaser thinking you're very kind. People pleasers usually are not kind to themselves. They're not really kind to others. They're trying to be rescuers. So when you're looking for a partner, the first thing you must say is affection is from you, your unique affection. And you gave me the ability to have affection for myself. And I have affection for others. My first vulnerability is with you. I'm happy with you, Allah. You caring for me in a way that nobody can care for me, not even me. You caring for everybody. You get what I mean? And secondly, that I have been given by you the ability to care for me in a way that I can. Thank you. And you gave me the ability to care for others. Thank you. And you gave me the ability to care for myself to begin to recognize those who really care for me and choose them. Believers must be with believers. You get what I mean? People who are into Iman, Amal, into a life tayyibun. What does a life tayyibun mean? A satisfying life. Allah gave us needs, and He provided for the fulfillment of those needs. Whether it's thirst, He says, look at water, how palatable it is, what a favor of Allah it is. Do you acknowledge? Water is palatable. If Allah said if He wanted, He could have made it salty, but made it palatable for us. The kindness of Allah. Will you recognize, will you appreciate? People say, I don't want to drink water, I'll just drink, black cool drinks, all this sort of thing. Sugar water, I'll just drink. I'm not interested in the water Allah gave me. And they say, but it's not haram. It's not haram. I'm a good Muslim. It's not haram. Is it tayyib? All that sugar that you're drinking, liquid sugar, is it tayyib? I think the Prophet was around, he'd be whacking the cool drinks. Hypocrites. Hypocrites. That's what we are. Worshipping Satan. Hypocrites. Well, not me any longer. I used to be like that. Hypocrites. Failing to see the kindness of Allah and what He has given to us needs, and to meet the need in a healthy way, in a halal and tayyib way. If you have thirst, meet it in a halal and tayyib way. If you have hunger, meet it in a halal and tayyib way. If you have sexual urges, meet it in a halal and tayyib way. Otherwise, there's going to be deprivation. You don't meet the need. There's going to be indulgence. You overdo it with what you're meeting the need. Perversion. You see, no tayyib, perversion. So this is my path. I'm intentional every day. Iman with Allah, the affection of Allah. Amal, my own affection that Allah gave me the ability to me, my body, my life, other people's lives. A life tayyibun. To meet the human needs, to receive from Allah what He put. Allah put love and compassion in my heart. I choose to express it as a believer because I know of Allah's love and compassion for me and other people. And as a believer, I'm choosing to be with those who have love and compassion in their hearts. I never did that before, but now I'm choosing it. Because I can. Because I'm choosing to live intentionally. See, back in the day, looking for a man, looking for a woman, that's how people are. They're going to make me happy. Denying Allah completely, that Allah is the source of my being. Because of Him I'm secure. He is my satisfier. He has put in the world, people and things to satisfy me. He has created the water from the rain clouds and the rain clouds themselves. He has created the trees and the fruit. He has created the animals. He has created from among us partners that we can take, but we are guided. Believers must marry believers. Not hypocrites must marry hypocrites. Believers must marry believers. Not believers must marry hypocrites. Believers, those who are aware, those who have established the relationship with their Creator. And it means claiming the refuge with Allah. You understand? Claiming the refuge with Allah. I live every day having received guidance that we are all in a very low state of perception and perspectives. We all are disbelievers until faith enters into our heart. Faith enters into our heart when we accept the guidance of the Quran. When we begin to realize we're living in a way with a mind that is distorted. We're living in a way with a heart that is diseased. Our hearts are diseased. That's why we're not connecting with Allah and feeling good. That's why we're not connecting with us, our bodies, our lives, and supporting feeling good. That's why we're not connecting with the right people and feeling good. See, now I'm choosing differently. I'm living intentionally. I choose to feel good with Allah every day. I choose to feel good with me, my body and my life. I choose to have a life in this world, future life, in the afterlife, tayyibun, wholesome, and a blissful return. The Quran says if you have Iman in your heart, and you have Amal, whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, there is a tayyib life. There's no tayyib life for you and a blissful return if you don't have Iman and Amal. If you're not interested in Allah's caring for you, and if you're not interested in Allah gave you the ability to care for you, if you don't want to see that you are worshipping Satan, that's why I claim the refuge with Allah from Satan the accursed. I know, I can't trust my mind, I can't trust my heart. My mind is distorted, my heart is diseased, but I can trust in Allah. The guidance says to me that I can't trust me, I must trust Allah. I can't trust my mind. Left to my own devices, I will behave in a way that will wrong my own soul, continue to wrong my own soul. You got to remember Allah, and that means remember that Allah is your creator, the one, the only, the unique. Become aware of Tawheed, that there is only Allah who created. Allah alone exists. We came into existence. We are not as real as Allah is. We are apparent. Allah is the actual. We are static. Allah is dynamic. There's no Allah and us. There's only Allah. There's no two-ness. There's no three-ness. There's only Allah, the one. We humble ourselves. We are not. We only exist because of the will of Allah. The will of Allah is in our favor. We can do nothing. We can't ask Allah to create us. We can't do anything. We have no power at all. The only thing we can do with Satan is deny Allah, the one that actually exists. We can live in plurality, duality. We can live beyond unity. We can have separation consciousness, and we can live there. We can think there's Allah and us, there's Allah, you, me, there's three of us. There's only Allah. And Allah exists and will always exist, the unique and supreme. Allah is beyond this world, the creator of this world. Allah has power over all things. With Allah, all things are possible. Allah is the all-privileging. Allah is the unconditionally giving. Allah gave us everything good. We, as human beings, decided to interact with Satan and continue to interact with Satan. Allah has done nothing bad to us and will never do anything bad to us. We need never live threatened by Allah. Allah is not a bully. Allah is not an attacker. Allah is not violent. Allah is Ghafur Rahim, the forgiving, the merciful. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the compassionate, the merciful. You know what I mean? So people are not they're so busy with the ego intentionality, like the satanic intent. Get up in the morning, what's my purpose for today? I got to get money so that I can eat. I got to do this, and I got to look after my children, and I got to you know what I mean? When you get up in the morning as a believer, you say thank you to Allah for this day, another day that has been kept for me. There was nothing you could do yesterday or anybody could do yesterday to keep this day that was kept for you by Allah, that is given. Thank you for the life that I have had. Thank you for the life that I have, this day that I have. I choose to use it in a way that benefits me, to really benefit me. I want to play a really, really beneficial role in my life. Satan will tell you, but you're getting money, you need money. This is the most important. Money, ibadat, money. If you had more money, that's worshipping money. That's shirk. You can, make a contribution and you can earn money, but you're not here to make a contribution and earn money. You're here to remember Allah. You're here to purify your heart. Human beings have forgotten Allah. You're here to remember Allah. You're here to establish a relationship with Allah. You know what I mean? What you nagging about? If I had more money, my life would be so good. Not enough Allah, more money is required. If I had more love from my partner, if I had my children listening to me, nagging, what story Satan is telling you? How are you deluded? I need to do this. I must please everybody. I was there. There's one purpose we are here, is to remember Allah, to bring to Allah a purified heart. And I'm glad I'm focused on it. I'm glad when I get up in the morning every day. Guidance has come to me. I can't trust my own mind. I can't trust my heart. I claim the refuge with Allah. Beyond my compulsive ways, automatic, everyday ways of being in a trance in this world, thinking that this world is real, thinking it's going to last forever. Satan said to Adam and Eve, shall I show you a world that will never perish? There's no world that will never perish. They're just in a trance. They think there's a world that will never perish. They will perish. The world will perish. Allah alone will never perish. Allah is the unique supreme who gave us life, and we will be raised up again. And then will be shown who remembered Allah, who received the guidance, who was interested in their nur, their vibration, how they feel, who chose to feel good with Allah. People say, no, I was choosing to feel good with money, and my job, and my husband, and my wife, and my children. On condition, if I had money, I felt good. If I had a car, I felt good. I felt good when I had something in the world. The believer would say, I felt good because I always had you. I will always have you. The believer is one who has established a relationship with Allah, who submitted the phantom self, who submitted that trap of, oh, I already know everything. I'm going to carry on being who I was. It's just Allah needs to change. And Allah needs to change some. It's not me. It's not me. So, what I learned is that all human beings are in error. That's what I've learned. We all are erring. That's why the Quran is there. It's there for humanity because humanity is erring. We are erring. And we all got to develop ourselves spiritually. But you don't have to. Let those who choose to believe, believe. The Quran says, let those who choose not to believe, let them disbelieve. I choose to believe. Allah says, He will show us where we differed. It's not for me to show you where we're differing, or to show me you're wrong, I'm wrong, you're right. It's got nothing to me. I'm only here to bring to Allah a purified. I'm only here to experience it. I'm here to feel good with Allah. Iman. I'm here to feel good. Tayyib living. But before that, Amal. I feel good with Allah's caring for me. I feel good with my body, myself, my life, my future life, my afterlife, the needs that are here to be met, the people, things and experiences that Allah put here. High quality, halal and tayyib. I'm feeling good. I'm choosing to live naturally. I don't want to live depriving myself pervertedly. I don't want to live indulgently, pervertedly. I want to live tayyibun, satisfied life. I'm into security, self-fulness and satisfaction, if you get my drift. I'm into feeling good, remembering Allah and feeling assured. Now Satan doesn't want you to feel good. Satan wants you to worry. Satan wants you to feel bad and try to avoid feeling bad. Satan wants you to live in fear and worry and guilt and shame. And okay, so now how are we going to get worth? How are we going to get to be okay? Like Allah didn't create you okay. Like Allah didn't create you worthy. Like Allah didn't create everything in the world already being there. You're living in a satanic trance thinking something is missing. You have Allah, nothing is missing. And Allah created us in the best of molds. Nothing is missing, nothing is incomplete. There is everything we require in the world. It's just we keeping ourselves from seeing that we're okay, everything is okay. We're worshipping Satan. Satan is telling us, get the money, you'll be okay. Get the man or woman, you'll be okay. Get the people to behave the way you want them to be, you'll be okay. Change the world, you'll be okay. But we already are okay. We are Allah's creation in His care. We have access to Him. We can invoke Him. So the people, they don't want to learn and grow and develop. Satan, when you worship Satan, you are against learning, growing and developing. I remind you, the Quran is guidance for humanity, guiding humanity to spiritual development, guiding humanity to develop spiritual intelligence, guiding humanity to personal intelligence and personal applying yourself in a way that is healthy. The Quran is telling us about Allah and how to connect with Allah and how to experience security with Allah. The Quran is telling us who we are on the planet and what we can live and how we can show up in this world. It's showing us which is the healthy ways, which is the good ways. The Quran is guiding us to our good in this world through our death and beyond. The Quran is not here like, we don't want you to have fun, so you must just pray all the time. That's what I thought, the way, Islamism comes across. It's like, you mustn't have fun. Allah doesn't want ease for you. He doesn't want joy for you. You mustn't be satisfied. You must be unhappy and miserable. You must learn to put a smile on your face, suffer in style with a smile. And you must never pursue satisfaction. We're all unworthy. The more you suffer, the more you're unhappy in this world, the more you're going to be happy in the next world. This is rubbish. This is rubbish. Superstitious rubbish, like all the other superstitious rubbish from India. And Quran is a book of truth beyond superstition. Falsehood is superstition. The Quran is there. Nobody, who's reading it wanting to learn from it? Who's reading the Quran with, how many people you know who are intentional with their interaction with the Quran? How many people are saying, Allah, this is a book of guidance, healing the diseases in my heart. My heart is diseased. I claim refuge with you. I'm using this book to heal the diseases in my heart. I want to know. I claim refuge with you. The Quran says, before you read the Quran, claim refuge with Allah from Satan. Because be intentional. I don't want to harm my own soul. The Quran says those who do certain things, they harm their own soul. Those who do other things benefit their own soul. The Quran is telling us how to be a benefit of our own soul, but the people don't want to hear. They worship Satan. When you worship Satan, you don't want to learn, you don't want to grow, you don't want to develop. No, just beg Allah. Beg Allah. We're needy. Help us. Help us. Help us. Why are you doing this to us? In the meantime, you're doing it to yourself. You did it. Human beings did it to ourselves. We turned our back against Allah. And He gave us guidance. And we turned our back against guidance. Help us. Help us. Allah is testing us. Allah is making us suffer. Allah wants ease for you. Superstitious ignoramuses, and remaining there today, stay there. I'm not judging, I'm just saying they're ignoramuses. They stand for ignorance and they perpetuate ignorance. Quran is not for remaining, for those who will reason. The Quran says the lowliest of life forms, the lowliest of people are those who will not reason. It's Allah's fault now, right? Isn't it? He's not helping you. He's causing this for you. How far off can people be? Allah has done nothing bad to humanity. He has blessed us. We are the ones who have harmed our own souls. No, not us. So the people don't want to learn, grow. No, there's nothing for us to learn, grow and develop. There's no guidance in the Quran and the Prophet. The Quran is Iman and Amal. The Prophet's behavior is Amal. Life tayyibun is demonstrated in the Quran, the Prophet, Quranic teaching, Islamic teaching. Live healthy, live wholesome. No. It's just happening to us. We are victims. We're just getting sick for nothing. Allah is putting sickness in us. He's testing us with sickness. The Quran says, when bad things happen to you, it's your own hands. When corruption is in the land, when people do stupid things in the land, and live silly, foolish, ignorantly, they make life miserable for everybody, themselves and everybody. Quran says those who receive this guidance and worship Allah, it's Allah who will protect them. It's Allah who will defend them. It's Allah who will raise them above the other people. So why are the so-called Muslims, I call them Islamis, not being raised above the other people? Obviously, because they're not real Muslims. They're not really interested in A'udhu Billah. They're not living intentional for the afterlife. They say they believe in Allah in the last day. Now, I'm not saying this to say I'm better than you, or I'm better than anybody. I don't care about being better than anybody else. I care about bringing to Allah a purified heart. I care about feeling good. And so I care about learning. Spiritual learning about Allah. Oh, but I went to madrasa. What, as a child, and you just got brainwashed into, like, you just know how to read Arabic now, and you know this, and so you can answer some facts, you got these ideas. So now you're set for life, because you went to madrasa. Oh, but I eat halal. What about tayyib? So people are just like some kind of role and religious identity they're brainwashed into, and they stay there. The hearts are diseased. The disease is expanded. They're astray, and they're left astray. But I chose, shukr to Allah, and I asked Him for guidance, and He gave me guidance. He said, come closer to me. Draw closer, prostrate and draw closer. Don't just prostrate. There are people who stand in prayer, their hearts lack the smallest of kindnesses. They don't draw closer to Allah. They're just no different from the mushrik, because they don't really know Allah. They don't really know Allah's affection and kindness and compassion. They don't know that. They're not receiving it, that Allah is telling us we are astray, but it's okay, there's guidance, come. We're like, no, we're not astray, we are believers. We said the kalima. We don't eat pig. You know what I mean? We went to madrasa. We're reading our salah. We're just reciting the Quran and not understanding a word. We are believers. What a sad state for a lot of people in this world through the death and beyond. They miss the day. They miss the opportunity. In the hereafter it'll be said to them, you got no light. You're not feeling that good. There's no nur. Go back. No, why? Then they say, but they'll turn to their leaders. It's in the Quran. They'll turn to their leaders. They say, the leaders, we turn to you to help us. Leaders said, we couldn't help ourselves. How could we help you? Turn to Allah. A'udhu Billah. I turn to Allah. I claim the refuge with Allah. I'm choosing to draw closer to Allah. I'm choosing my heart. I can't trust my mind. I can't trust the mind of other people who's got diseased hearts. See, when you remember Allah in an audience, He remembers you in a greater audience. Allah is cheering us on. It's like telling you, talk about me in a real way, and I'll talk about you. You know what I mean? Take one step towards me. and I'll take 10 steps towards you. Allah is telling us, take steps towards Him, remember Him, talk about Him. We are just worshipping religion, Islam is. Modified Hindus are just worshipping religion, not worshipping Allah. What are they talking about Allah? Are they talking about His compassion, about His favors, about His power, about His sufficiency? Are they talking anything like that? Are they talking about His guidance and what the guidance is and how we can correct? Are they talking anything like that? Not at all. Not what my ears haven't heard that. That we can learn and grow and develop spiritually. Are they doing that? I don't hear that anywhere. Are they becoming better human beings? Amal, are they developing themselves there? I don't hear that. They don't want to learn. They don't want to grow. They don't want to develop. Are they learning how to live in a wholesome way? Are they being honest about the perversions, deprivations and dissatisfactions and indulgences? Are they beginning to admit that there's no iman in this heart? We just say we believe, but there's no iman. Are they beginning to admit we're not living using the capacity that Allah has given us to play a beneficial role in our lives and other people's lives? Are they admitting that? And do they want to do that? I'm not angry with anybody. Sometimes I can sound like that, but I'm not angry. It's not for me. This world was created for a reason, to see who will choose truth. Bottom line is, I will choose truth. And not choosing truth is an option, but there are consequences for it. Get what I mean? So I'm saying to you, if you begin to realize, I am astray, there's guidance, release the shame, release the guilt that keeps you from wanting to learn. I'm scared to admit I'm wrong. I'm scared to admit. That's Satan. Satan is telling you, don't admit you are wrong, but admit you are in error so that you can correct. No, I'm not in error. Those other people are in error. When I tell this truth and I expose it, how many people who don't want to hear what I'm saying, but where's his beard? But which madrasa he went to? Truth needs no qualification. You get what I mean? Truth is truth. The first desire you must have is a spiritual ambition to draw closer to Allah. If you don't have that desire to go beyond Satan worship and say, I'm perverted, I'm living unnaturally, I don't want to continue to live unnaturally, I'm superstitious, I'm ignorant, I'm arrogant, I'm unaware, I'm not experiencing. If you don't admit that, I am entitled, I am not appreciative, I am not enjoying, I'm in my ego power, I have ego desires, I'm living very satanic. If you don't admit that, you cannot see the error and correct. Allah is showing us our errors. But there are people who worship Satan, they don't want to see. Not me. Very defensive. Not me. Maybe you. They're very defensive because they worship Satan. You must be prepared to see your errors. I am prepared to see my errors, and I'm thankful that Allah is compassionate. He's patient with me. I don't see my errors. We don't have any. We are very good Muslims because we went for Hajj 10 times. Stand in prayer, with hearts diseased, and the disease is expanded. Until you admit, the only way you know you're a real believer is when you have opened up and humbled yourself and say we are all in error. Only Allah is perfect. Only Allah can guide us. And the Prophet is our example. He showed us. Through the guidance of Allah, he was guided. And he demonstrated the best, behavior, conduct. No, I just got my beard. I'm like the Prophet because I got a beard. How low can you go? How pathetic can people be to deny that they're not Allah conscious and really want to become Allah conscious? No, I read the Quran. You're not like the Prophet. Admit it, that you can learn and you can become like the Prophet. No, I got a beard. I'm like the Prophet. It's hilarious. For a person who wakes up, you think this is a big joke. People can lie to themselves thinking they lie to Allah. Oh no, I am like the Prophet. Nothing like the Prophet. Lying to yourself. Heart is diseased. Don't want to address it. Don't want to correct. Don't want to learn, grow and develop. Not for learning. Just want to continue the same. Just saying, no, save me Allah. Save me Allah. But not the guidance is there for us to correct. No, I don't want to correct. I just want to be saved. When the remembrance of Allah, Allah remembers you, hearts experience assurance, you'll progress and prosper. Those who fail to remember Allah, their lives will be depressing lives, the Quran says. They will live depressed lives. Oh, no, it's got nothing to do with me for not remembering Allah. I'm just living a depressed life because Allah is testing me. Those who fail to remember Allah will live a depressed life. Anyway, I choose to feel good because there's every reason to feel good. Allah is compassionate, He's merciful, He's given us guidance. I'm willing to learn, grow and develop. I'm willing to draw closer to Allah. I've drawn closer to Allah through the years. I'm willing to see where I've failed myself, where Satan tricks me, where I'm not respecting me, my body, my life, where I'm not respecting others, where I don't have affection, where I'm denying Allah's affection for me and for everybody else, where I'm denying my own affection for me, my body, my life, where I'm denying affection from others, for others. And I'm not being affectionate to others, where I'm not letting other affectionate people, I'm choosing unaffectionate people in my life. I want to see my role in my life, and I'm correcting. Shukr to Allah. Things just get better and better for us on the path. Those of us on the path, guide us to the path upon which there's only benefit upon. I can vouch for it. Every day I'm feeling better and better. Every day I'm feeling spiritually more secure, being more self. Every day I'm participating. Every day I'm learning to give to myself and other people more and more. It's wonderful to be on the path. No, life is hard and miserable, and God is doing things for us. That's for the people who don't know why I'm on priority, I'm on purpose. Shukr to Allah. All praise, glory and thanks to God Almighty, who has guided me to the path of human excellence, who strengthens me in the path of human excellence, and His choicest blessings upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shukr to Allah.